I killed the child.
Dun,
What?
dun, dun.
Vibe.
Yeah, what is the vibe today,
The,
Garrett?
the
Today's
vibe was
vibe is
53, I believe.
Yeah.
Is that the accurate
pretty
today
good.
vibe? Excellent. All right.
Yeah.
Good to go. Well, last time on Up, Up, and Away, Nova Destiny. X in the dark. The crew of the Destiny was still in the hangar at Frobaz, where their new Nova Destiny ship has been constructed, along with new ancillary ships, and the people of the Frobaz Corporation are training the crew members in various new functions that they'll need to be able to run their starship. And so we've had some of those trainings.
What's this button do?
Yeah.
We blew up all of Brobos.
Yeah, so you've had some
Well, that's the
trainings.
thing. You're spoiling it because you know that eventually we are going to blow up most of Robot.
I mean, it could happen. I wouldn't put anything past this group. So yes, in the interim between last game, there were some changes in crew roster. The War accepted the role of communications officer, a bridge command crew position. Mary accepted the role of head nurse in the sick bay under Father Brabar, and Guthix accepted the role of assistant grower with Zemeth in the greenhouse.
Uh-huh.
Okay, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Totally a thing you could do in 2022, actually.
He's
Yeah,
assistant
this pays
grower.
good money.
Also known as Fluffer, the greenhouse
Oh,
fluffer.
Fluffer.
Yeah, yeah,
The greenhouse
yeah.
fluffer.
Fluffer is something completely different.
Isn't
That
isn't the fluffer the person that helps you grow, or that
well,
keep
it keep
grown?
it's
Isn't
it's the fluffer is the person that
keeps you grown?
keeps you grown. Yes,
Yeah, between
that's right.
takes. Yeah,
Between
yeah,
takes.
Uh,
yeah. That's what I
Mhm.
thought. I thought so. Yeah, yeah.
now I
Yeah,
see where
That's
we
the
are.
fluffer.
yeah.
That's what we're talking
We
about.
just scarred Garrett, I think.
Yeah.
I'm now caught up with what you're talking
Yeah. Now 100%
Yeah.
on there. Okay,
So
so those
you'll
roles.
never have a fluffer nutter sandwich. You'll never be able to eat another fluffer nutter
Same.
Yeah.
ever again. Nope,
So
not
those
gonna happen.
roles have been accepted. The crew has begun to live and practice on the ship itself. So you're
Oh, was there
still
anybody before Mary or Guthix? Because I did walk out for a second.
there. Okay, so Thawar is the new communications officer. New spot
Whoa!
on the bridge.
All
Um,
right.
before we go any
Although I think I remember
further,
that from last.
was there anyone that wanted an ops position on the bridge?
Now, what exactly does that mean?
So basically, in the old ship, when there were helms, when everything was magic, you had your pilot who sat in one of the helms and was like the primary pilot. Then you had a secondary pilot that was kind of a redundancy pilot. Basically, if something happened to the first pilot, like the ship just wouldn't like totally tumble out of the sky and everyone dies because everything was run from the magical helm. The secondary pilot essentially used to run basically ops, which was while the primary pilot was flying, the secondary pilot would kind of pay attention to like what was going on the ship, as well as like the status of things around the ship. They could kind of pay more attention because they weren't flying.
I leave the world and I still can't escape my ops.
Yeah. In the new ship, ops is a computer station. Obviously, so you don't have to be a like a magic user to be in the ops role anymore, because it's not like you're not like connected to a helm. You're just like sitting at the computer, and the computer kind of does all the work for you essentially. You just kind of monitor, whatever. So it opens up that role to people who are not like spellcasters, but you can't be dumb as fuck to do that role either, because you are operating a computer and kind of dealing with some technical things. So
Argyle, yeah.
it requires some intelligence, but it doesn't require spellcaster anymore. And essentially it would be a bridge position that could lead to other, who knows, promotions, bridge positions. It puts you on the bridge where the action kind of is.
Let's see. I'm afraid Solus and Timmy are simply
Just too dumb.
too
Too
dumb.
fucking dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're simple creatures, all right?
Hmm. Yeah, no.
Timmy couldn't reach the goddamn console anyway.
You don't think they got booster
got
chairs
step
for
stools.
Timmy? He'd be
Yeah.
all right. It's that shit adjusts. Hydraulic.
Got extendo legs now.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Timmy can be any height he wants now. So that's always a possibility. The other thing that I was saying is that if any of your characters are thinking about any other things that just
Yeah.
do your networking thing and kind of I would probably just do that during play. Now there are two offers that are still
Well,
out there that I wanted to role play.
Argyle and Anya do have things that they would like to apply for
Okay.
as well.
Okay.
So I don't know how you want to do that.
All right. Well, it's up to you whether you think it's worth doing during the game, uh, or not. If you think it's worth doing during the game and you think it'll be fun or funny or whatever, then we'll work it in. If not, we'll figure it out.
It's not going to be fun or funny. It's just
Okay.
it literally is. I don't think.
But
I
this
don't.
one might kind of be interesting. So, uh, both Chud and Rumby have
God.
received invitations to meet Mike in the forward lounge. So Mike's left notes on for both Rumby and for Chud on their bunks to meet him in the forward lounge this evening. He set like a time. We'll say it's like 6 p.m. or whatever. So, do Chud and Rumby show up? They show up late. They show up early. They not show up at all. It's
Rumby's
Mike.
gonna show up
You know,
really
it's your bud.
late.
Yeah, Chud will show up on time.
All right. So, would you say Rumby was gonna show up?
Yeah, a little bit late.
A little bit late. All right. Okay. So Chud shows up in the forward lounge. There's kind of some people hanging out. It's evening, and I don't know if anybody else is in the forward lounge in this evening. If anybody else hanging out there, but Mike is he's sitting at a table all the way in the front towards the starboard side. It's the starboard side of the ship that's pointed out towards the star field beyond. And Mike's kind of staring out. And he's got a drink. Looks like some brown liquor. Chud walks in and sees Mike sitting, staring out the window at the lounge. Chud?
And nothing happened.
Oh, what's up?
Hey, have a seat.
I'll sit down.
I wanted to talk to you about something. Where's that other guy? I sent an invitation for Rumby too.
I haven't seen him.
Hopefully he'll be on his way. So, when they were creating these ships that we have now, I trained in one of the remade strikers. And, shut of all the ships, Striker's the one that's the most different. So, I was talking to the captain, because we don't know what we're gonna face out here. And, we got those Frobos people to agree to make us more strikers. So we've got a whole squadron. Oh, hey, Rumby, take a seat.
Something to drink?
Yeah. Barkeep. Ah, well, hello, guys. What'll you have? This is Gerblin, the cook. He's asking you what you want to drink.
Something alcoholic?
I'll have a tall glass of milk.
According to this computer thing, there's 700 types of milk that this thing can make.
Oh my
Give
god.
me number 700.
Will do. And you? He's looking at Rumby. Something alcoholic. You want something from our world? Or do you want something off the new menu?
Something interesting.
See what I can do. Gerblin hops away and starts pressing lighted pads on the wall. And Mike continues. He says, as I was telling Chud here, we convinced those Frobos people to build us a squadron of strikers. The defense ships. They're really different. I flew one myself. We got a whole squadron. The thing is, you don't have to hook it to your mind anymore. You control it with, well, they call it a yoke, but it's kind of like reins, which means that anybody with good reflexes can fly. Not only that, while you have a gunner in the back to shoot, well, that hard light, uh, you also have weapon control from that yoke. It's like having a flying horse with those with magic missiles attached to it. I think I want you guys for my squadron. What do you think?
Only if we're red.
Sounds
and
fine by
following?
me.
Chud, I was thinking we could call your striker Heroes 3.
I've never heard a better idea in my life.
So, if you guys are in, then we're building a team.
Sure.
I'm assuming
Count me in.
because I'm assuming both Rumby and Chud have pretty decent dexterity, right? Like not bad dexterity.
Uh,
Um, yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
is that if my character in look?
It would make
Come back.
sense because Rumby is literally like a ranged. I can only imagine that his dexterity is real high. I didn't check, but
It's 13.
yeah, I figured it was like it was good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You guys are totally good. So yes, you
Not,
are
not
part
the
of the new
smartest person in the world, but he's dexterous. No.
part of the you are now part of the new striker squadron, and Mike is going to start teaching you how to pilot these things. Mike is essentially now the CAG. Your drinks finally come, and Chud, your drink, you're not sure how to describe it. Uh, the barkeep said that it was milk, uh, but it's vapor.
What?
It's like a glass of kind of like this white vapor.
He's gonna drink it all in one go.
As you drink it, as it hits your tongue, it turns into liquid. Kind of a refreshing but sweet, uh, like Calpico.
Ew.
Mm.
Mmm,
I got a bottle of that actually in my.
nice. And then
Yeah, man.
Rumby's drink is kind of this weird. It's blue and purple, but it's not like the top is blue and the bottom is purple. Like one side of the glass is blue and the other side of the glass is purple.
Interesting.
And as you drink it, it kind of swirls together, and you get a tingly feeling. And make a Constitution check.
Mm, player character sheet. No constitution check.
Whew. Ah, it was hard on your frail human constitution, but you didn't pass out, though you are highly inebriated.
That's the point.
Mike tries to get you to do a sing along.
I will oblige.
All right. Remember.
Most likely in a language that I can barely speak.
See what we got. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Mike's gonna he's gonna sing a jaunty western tune. He'll pull out his guitar and sing a jaunty western tune straight from the wastes. Rumby'll know this one. He's from back home. Oh man, Dan must be going and checking the poo. So the captain kind of lets everybody know that the ship only has one more week in dock. In a week, Frobaz is putting us out into the world. So if there is anything that anyone needs to do. We'll let Dan put on his headphones here.
Mhm.
I was just saying, Dan, that the captain has made an announcement that in a week, Frobaz is kicking you out, putting you out
Ah,
into the world. The ship will be live, and you will be on your own.
ah.
If there is anybody
Well,
that needs to do anything, now's the time. Because you're not really sure exactly what you're going to encounter,
well,
when you're going
well,
to be in
how
in another safe port.
So,
how much of the port do we have access to?
Right now, you have access to your ship.
Oh, really? So they're not allowing us out into the out into the rest of the docking area or the port or anything like that?
Not so much. They've been trying to kind of keep you on your ships or within training areas where like ships are being like flown or whatever, uh, to get you used to the fact that, well, you're gonna be on your fucking ship and that's it.
Mm.
They want
so
you. They,
Timmy's
yeah, go ahead.
Timmy caught wind of all these different alcoholic drinks, and in the time he's going to be here, he's
Mhm.
going to try every single one of them.
So Timmy heads down to the he hears about some crazy drinks. So he heads down to the forward lounge in order to check out the drinks. And in the lounge, of course, he sees Gerblin Plop, who is the cook, but he's also manning this forward lounge, and he is, of course, a fellow halfling.
Whose mustache looks like a long, thin turd.
Oh man, he's great. Hey,
Why do you have a pretty halfling? Come on now, we had pretty dwarves. Why do you have a pretty halfling?
is he a pretty halfling? You think he's pretty?
I don't know.
Aw.
Look at those eyes, man. Come on, look at them eyes.
Wait, let me bring up the
Caught Dan in 4K.
Da- Da- he's those teeth. You think he's pretty?
Oh yeah.
I kind of
Dan's all about this guy.
I'm looking at the eyes, man.
I
I
kind
think he
of
looks like your standard Latino dude.
yeah, that's kind of what I was going for. I was going for like a I was going for like a ginger Latino midget.
Wait a minute, a ginger Latino midget that you're named Grubber?
Gerblin.
His name's
Gerblin.
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 No, no,
Well,
no.
I
You have
guess
it
yeah,
right on
he
here.
is.
I'm sorry, you got it right on fucking here. It says
Where?
known as Grubber.
It's
Oh, I
well, it's
see.
true.
Grubber.
It's true. It's
Yeah,
true.
yep, you got
Yeah,
it
Yeah.
yeah,
right
yeah,
there.
yeah.
I
Here
am
you go.
sorry. There it is.
Yeah,
hmm
it is.
Known as
It
Grubber.
is. It is absolutely true that
I
he
mean,
is,
the
in
people on the
fact,
stream might not be able
known
to
as.
see it,
No, they could.
but
They
there
could.
we go.
I made it
Now
so
they
that
can
they
see
could
it
see
now.
it. Yeah.
Yep.
I,
So
I showed the
yeah,
evidence.
we've yeah,
Hey
we've
there,
Oh.
now
Grubber.
proven yet again that we are racist sons of bitches.
Man, it's my
Is that a
diversity.
slur? I feel like it just sounds like it should be one.
Yeah, I feel he's grubber is like food. Grub is food. He's the
Oh,
grubber,
I
man.
gotta take this call.
Yeah, you take your shit call. Uh, hey, how's it going?
And Grubber, I heard a little tale pass by my ear that we got some interesting stock with the old corporation and the whole biz.
So there's this machine back here. It's like the wall makes drinks. It's got an enormous menu. Um, Everything that you could possibly imagine from back home. And then a crazy amount of other things. What do you
Well,
think?
we're not going to be here forever now, are we? I'm saying that in the time before we leave here, I'm trying to try every single one of these drinks. On the house, right?
Well, I mean, they didn't say there's any kind of a limit, as far as I know, but I guess we'll see. We might have to talk to Rena about that. I don't know how well, how any of this works. To me, I guess it's magic. But I don't know anything about that. Just that there's a bunch of foods and drinks and all kinds of things in here. But, ah, Timmy, I don't know if you're going to be able to drink all these drinks. I can't even say the number. Come here. He pulls you over, kind of like, kind of says, like, gestures for you to kind of like come over the bar.
What do we got here? What is this?
He says, "This thing, it's a, I don't remember what they called it, but it's like a kind of like a scroll watch." And he takes his hand, and you see like there's all these names. You assume they're drinks. And he kind of goes like this. He goes like this with his arm, makes a gesture. And the list kind of just goes,
Continues going and
continues
going and
going
going.
and going and going and going. You're not even, you're kind of amazed by just this. You're like, what the shit?
Wow. The same
Yeah.
magic, is it?
Hell if I know, but watch this. So the list is kind of going, and he puts his finger on it and kind of stops it on one. And he says, "Computer, make this drink." And this kind of window below opens up, and there's a cup with his stuff in it. It looks thick and black.
Bottoms up. First one. And
So,
Timmy grabs the glass and slugs it back.
all right, slugs it back. Okay, let's see what we got here. Oh my goodness. Okay, Timmy, you slug it back, and it's like it's kind of thick, but as you start to kind of drink it, you realize that it's thick, not like liquid or molasses, but it's thick like it's like a, I don't know, it's like an organism, and it kind of slides down your throat like you've just like swallowed like a great bulbous
What?
slug.
Blech. Oh my. What the hell
Your
was
throat
that?
even kind of expands a little bit, and you kind of do this thing like,
Blech.
and
Ugh.
when it finally hits your stomach, it's just like it feels heavy, very heavy. Make a Constitution check.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
king.
There's like a gurgling and a settling, and then it starts to come. Oh, oh, and Timmy belches. Roll a charisma check.
Okay.
All right, yeah, it's disgusting.
Oh
It
yeah.
is like disgusting and wet and like pretty loud, and people in the forward lounge, they like turn and they're like, what uh,
Well,
after all of it
mm,
though, it was kind of satisfying, and you don't feel drunk as much as you feel a sense of out of bodiness.
oh my God. They
You
put the
like,
shrooms in the beer.
yeah, you have this sense that you're kind of like almost like you're hovering over yourself. Like you can control your body, but it feels real weird. But
Mhm.
your perspective almost seems like you're like hovering over yourself. It's it's hard to
Oh.
describe. It's pretty weird. You all right?
Uh, uh, yeah. That was Whoa. Hold on a minute.
Uh,
Fire up another one. Well, I can't let that be the first get me down. Maybe a little bit of a different section in that scroll there.
all right. We'll see what we can do. Scroll, scroll, scroll. Give us a new one. He like gestures again with his arm, kind of whipping it almost as if it was a wheel, and it kind of scrolls along. And finally, he goes, bingo! And he hits another one with his finger, and he says, computer! Make that drink. And again, the window underneath opens up, and the drink is unusual. This one has a weird apparatus. So there's like a cup, and then over top of the cup, there's this kind of thing with, it almost looks like tongs. And then over that, there's like a blob of, I don't know, it almost looks like sand all stuck together, reddish sand. That's
Wow.
weird. You think you'd dump that in there?
Uh, sure. You know, we'll give it
Um,
a shot.
hang on. Computer, how do we drink this drink? You must light the sharkdom on fire, on top, and let it melt into the drink. Uh, you got Tinder, Tim?
Uh, yeah, I think I got my kid on me.
I think it said to light this top part on fire.
So I take a match out of my pocket and strike it, and then hold it over the salt. You said.
It looks kind of like salt or sand. It's kind of this reddish. Yeah, salt would be like almost like a lump of salt. So you kind of like, as soon as the flame hits it, it completely ignites and starts to kind of like gooily melt into the drink. As the black goo
Whoa.
kind of melts into the drink itself begins to kind of bubble. And by the time
Oh.
all of it's melted in there, it's like really bubbly.
Oh.
You
Oh. Oh. Oh.
you've only ever seen anything like this with like magical potions. It's pretty weird.
Oh.
Well, that's
Rubber, me
something.
boy. If I don't wake up, send me to Bravo. Bottoms up. I slug it back.
Cheers. All right, you slug it back, and go ahead and make a Constitution check. Hmm. All right.
I'm feeling a little funny. I'm feeling a little queasy in it.
You're starting to. The out of bodiness is from the last drink is still there. But for some reason, even though you're out of your body, oh man, the vertigo from your body or from out of your body or whatever, not good. It's like you're spinning around over top of your own body, yet you can still control your body.
Oh no.
You okay there, buddy?
Next one. Make it quick.
You think that's a good idea? All right. He does the gesture thing again. Oh my good lord. Okay. He stops on one, and it's like only like one character, and it's like a weird symbol. It's not like a letter or anything that you recognize. You assume, well, you don't assume anything because you're fucked up as hell. But Gerblin assumes that it's untranslatable. And he's like, that looks good to me. And he's like, computer, make that one. And the computer spits out this thing that looks like a little boat. And in the boat, kind of like a little miniature, like almost like a little canoe. And in the canoe, there's this kind of like weird smelling liquid. It kind of smells like seawater, and there are these little green bubbles, like almost like boba, floating on top of the water in the liquid in this canoe. And he takes it out and he looks at it and he says, "Are you sure?"
Bottoms up.
He hands you the canoe. You take it down, and first of all, Constitution check to even get the whole drink down. At this point, it might be kind of rough. Somehow,
Somehow,
Timmy's a
somewhere.
champ. The whole thing. The boat clatters on the bar. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, you're starting to feel weird. Oh, roll a Constitution check. Oh no. Timmy may have just had an accident.
What kind of accident?
Number 2.
Oh,
He's failed.
oh,
He's
no.
failed to control his bowels.
Oh, oh, Robert, help me to med bay. And he's like wobbling. He's like trying to hold his legs together. God.
Bobby, get the mop. I'll be back. Gerblin dragging Timmy. This is probably something that's happened before. I'm gonna assume they've been on a ship for a while. Probably not the first time this has happened. First time it's happened with alien drinks, but probably not the first time this has happened before. So yeah, Grubber takes Tim down to the sick bay, and puts him in the hands of Brabar and Mary, and Dan's still fucking with his
Oh.
toilet, I suppose. So,
Yeah, after Timmy's
yeah,
done with it.
yeah, Timmy is done for. All right. Does anyone have anything else that needs to be done, or that they would like to address with either anyone in the crew or the captain or Frobaz prior to leaving dock and going out on your own?
Um,
Nothing I
you
can
mentioned
really think of.
something about upgraded weapons. Did we happen to get re-outfitted with weapons, or are we still holding the same thing we had?
So personally, you have all of your equipment. They didn't
Mm-hmm.
take your equipment. As I said, when they took your equipment the first time, you did get back things clean, a lot cleaner some of things than they were. But other than that, everything works, and all of your
Okay.
equipment, all your armor and stuff. You are aware that there is equipment on the ship that is kind of equivalent to equipment that used to be on the ship. Like for example, on the old ship, you had a contingent of like essentially Marines, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
some soldiers, some guys that like if you really they not guys that were meant for first contact, but guys for like if you really got into some shit and you needed like just to send grunts to just fucking fight, those would have
Mm-hmm.
been the guys. A bunch of those guys they still exist on the ship. And like so a lot of their equipment, because it was kind of like with the ship, got upgraded. So there's like some new armor and stuff, like that armor that Argyle was fucking with the last time. There are those like big guns and some things, but as far as like your own personal equipment, nothing's really been upgraded, though you are aware that there's obviously like endless possibilities. While you still have this week, Matt, the Frobos engineer, is still kind of around and available for questions. Obviously, you can always go to the captain or some other ranking member, or the that kind of fruity Frobos guy that was like a liaison. He's kind of around too. You think it's a he, you're not sure. He's probably non-binary. It, they, whatever. I didn't think that far ahead. But yes, so if you have an inquiry about weapons, you could probably go to somebody. You just have to figure out who you'd want to talk to and what you'd want to ask them. But you have the time. But only now.
Just
Probably.
always remain the same. Solus will be just fine.
Yeah, I
I guess
mean,
I would.
Solus, you know. Just wait until
Try
Solus
to
gets that
find
combat
Matt.
suit that he can, like, martial art.
Oh my god. You're like freaking Iron Man or something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well,
Mm-hmm.
there's nothing I can really think of that I would need to talk to, or that my characters would really bring up.
What about the war?
I guess the war would try to find Matt then. Because that's he seemed to be the one that talked the most. Um,
Yeah, the war could
see
easily find.
see
Yeah, the war could easily find
how
Matt.
effective he thought my dagger would be out here in space.
Well, Let me see that thing. Looks pretty good to me. It's sharp. Here's the thing. Out in space, this doesn't do anything. But none of this stuff really does. But this still stabs. So it's good for that. I mean, if you can get too close to somebody, they're just wearing regular clothes, you could most certainly kill them. There are people that would be better defended. And there are more kind of upgraded versions of this, I guess you could say. You're worried about your personal defense?
A little bit, yes. All this new technology, I feel almost ill-equipped with what I have.
I can understand that. Well, this is what you're comfortable with, right?
Correct. Yes.
Or do you... Well, I don't know. I'm not a fighter, but I've heard that you guys get into violence all the time.
Hmm. I cannot deny these claims.
Well, are there other ways that you fight besides this?
Ah, there is. Yes. More subtle ways to affect fights. Yes.
Show me.
That's a thingy. I will.
He'll take you over into one of the training rooms where you
Sure,
can do stuff and not blow things up.
I'll duplicate myself and then put us in a ball of darkness when I can find the spell. Darkness globe. Boom.
Whoa. Well, those things are
And then
still very useful. They're more kind of defensive, but those will definitely be helpful if you were in a fight. Let me check something. He pulls out a small little device in his hand. It looks like a handle with a little kind of a tube on it. And he kind of like he's pointing it kind of towards you, and he's like kind of hear it making noise. He's like pointing it. He goes, that's what I thought. Uh, whatever you just did, that those holograms, they're confusing my targeting.
I see. Yes, these holograms, as you call them.
Here, I'll set to non-lethal. He like points at, he kind of points in your general direction, and you see him like, and this kind of almost looks like a magic missile. It's just like a quick like streaking like bolt of light, and it hits like
Mhm.
one of your clones, and it disappears. And he's like, "Yeah, see,
All right.
that will still be useful. In the darkness, as much as that could help, uh, there are ways that uh, that could be breached as well. Though, if you're talking about getting up close, there may be more effective ways than than that standard bladed dagger that you have. But again, people do still use those, even out in the stars. In some places, those might be more common. They may be more effective against certain type of shielding.
I see. That's interesting. I'll keep that in mind.
Some people use shields to block energy weapons, but this dagger would pierce through that. You could still kill a man. So, a little bit later that night, he Matt comes to your quarters. So this is kind of in the evening. So other people are around, and I mean, like, even though you have like you can pod yourselves off, like your quarters are all like right there. So Matt shows up and kind of like knocks on the door.
Why does Dan look so tiny?
I think he's talking on the phone, and I think he looks weird because it's like a perspective error because of the way his background is like,
Mhm.
yeah.
He's like eagle size.
He is. He's like itty bitty. He's like a gnome. But I think, yeah, I think he must be like trying to resolve whatever issue he's having. Maybe they called a plumber. Maybe they called their landlord. I don't know. Anyway, um, so yeah, Matt has come to the door. There's kind of a bell. Hello? You kind of you kind of hear it through the speaker or well, the speaker. You kind of just hear it in the room. Is the war in there? Hello, it's Matt.
Hello? Yes. Matt?
Hey, I brought this for you. And he hands you what looks like the hilt of a dagger.
Okay. Ah, am I... Is this something I can repair later?
No, no. Be careful. Point it away from you. And definitely point it away from me. And, flick that switch right there.
I'll flick the switch.
Flick the switch, and there's like a little like buzz and crackle. And then kind of this blade appears. And it's like this kind of a whitish purple, and it's kind of like sizzly and crackly. And he's like, that's some controlled plasma. Don't get it near your skin. It'll do a lot of damage, though.
All right. Thank you so much, Matt. I appreciate this.
Sure. Have a good night, everybody. So, like I said, that was right there at the crew quarters. So anybody who's just like hanging around in crew quarters probably would have easily seen that display, especially with the crackling of the plasma. That would have maybe even woken people up.
Oh, excuse me. Oh, did the war just get a lightsaber?
I mean, not exactly. He got a plasma dagger. 1d4 plus 4.
Whoa.
4+4, sick.
Hey, hey, Thor, what you got there, buddy?
A smoothie.
Hugo and Rumby will both need to figure out what the hell they're going to use for some kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, like I said, everybody just saw that basically Matt just kind of gave the war this thing. and it's clearly a piece of technology.
It didn't really occur to me, but maybe our weapons will not be so useful out here.
Well, I
Oh,
don't really know what to do because Kegel's got like teeny daggers that she can use. Roby's got like crossbow.
Well, maybe you can get a tech crossbow that shoots plasma or teeny
They,
tiny little
I don't know.
plasma daggers.
I'm gonna ask about that.
Well, like I said about with Dan and Argyle, Rumby's a fighter, right? And one of the things with fighter, the main perk is can use any weapon or can learn to
Yeah,
use any weapon. So basically, like
Kegel-
essentially
Kegel's one worried about.
any gun that he can find, he can eventually learn to like operate and probably operate well because he's already that like marksman like fighter class.
Yeah, but he's got he's got math like sharpshooting or something. But like Kegel, I don't have no clue.
Well, Kegel, the thing is her magic is still valid. I mean, like all of her, probably like most of her best offensive stuff is probably magic anyway. As far as the little darts, I'm sure she could probably find Flark. Oh, okay. Just to make sure, not +4 to hit, only +4 to damage.
yes.
Just okay, yeah. Just wanted to make
Wait,
sure. Yeah. Because it's the +4 is because of that fucking the plasma
Mhm.
just burning you or burning like whatever. But the yeah, it doesn't. Also, uh it's not as good as a throwable dagger. It is throwable, but we're going to say it's throwable with a -2 penalty because it's like not quite aerodynamic. You know what I mean? It's like it's not like a
Yeah.
real dagger, so it's not like weighted quite like a real dagger. So can be thrown, but not nearly as good. Not that there aren't throwable versions of better daggers, just so that for those that might be wondering, this is not the only option.
Hmm.
This is just the option that Matt offered Thwar.
See, I
But holy
I
shit,
guess I
this would
should
be
tell.
crazy for a backstab, except for that it would probably negate your shit because it'd be all crackly and like because essentially it's more like Kylo Ren's lightsaber than like a regular lightsaber. It's like it's kind of loud and kind of crackly. So this particular dagger, it would be difficult to sneak up on somebody unless you snuck up on somebody and then like activated it. Like technically, you could
Into them.
probably sneak up on somebody and activate it into their body,
Yeah,
which
that'd be the backstab equivalent
yeah,
of that.
yeah, which if you were gonna backstab with it, that'd be how to do it. And that would be pretty fucking wicked actually. But other than that, yeah, it's real crackly. So if you just have it activated, it's loud, it's bright, noticeable for sure. But can be flicked off easily with your thumb. Flicked on and off. Which is also here's the thing. Remember that all of these weapons are also they're prone to both be good for crits, which there's probably going to be some awesome fucking crits, but also they're just as likely to get a fumble, and some of these weapons are probably not weapons you want to really badly fumble with. It's like, oh, I cut off my dick and just fused the whole area over. So I just have this like lump of scarred flesh.
Scarred dick.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Hmm. Yeah, definitely not good. Oh man, I've been kind of like just stalling because I was hoping that Dan would actually like. He said he was gonna pop in and out, but he's mostly popped out. So I'm wondering if they're not having like a disaster over there. Has he said anything in chat?
They might be having a bit of a disaster.
Let's see what. Hang on here. Yeah, he said he had to make a
Well, the
phone
next
call,
day,
which we saw. Yeah. Oh yeah. What about Timmy? Oh yeah. Let's see. Okay, for the next day, we should definitely roll another Constitution check.
yeah, it's
Oh.
still not too great.
So you're you're conscious. You're up. Uh. Whew, but you're pretty hungover. It's
Oh,
it's a bit rough. Oi,
oh,
uh,
you.
come back for more hair of the dog, eh?
They say the best cure to a hangover is chasing her. Scroll the list.
All right, scrolling the list. So he scrolls again, and he says, "Hey Tim, you do it this time. Roll D100."
Might need to have a bucket on hand.
72. Okay, so Timmy stops on one, and Grubber says, "Computer, make that one." And the computer plops down. Oh, good lord. Okay. Computer plops down what looks like. It looks like uh kind of a small square cup, but it's like made of a weird material and it's got a thing over it. It's got like a cover over it. And like you take it out and it looks like maybe there's like a little tab and you can like peel the cover off.
Okay, I do that.
Peel the cover off. Inside there's like a gel. It's like this yellow
Oh,
gel. It smells kind of sweet. And like when you kind of like as your hand kind of shakes a little bit and it like the gel kind of like jiggles in the little thing. And the
yeah.
cup is weird. It's like the cup is not glass. It's like you're not sure what it's made of. It's like a membrane or something. It's weird. It's almost like this clear membrane and you can kind of squeeze it and when you squeeze it the gel inside kind of shakes.
Ooh, I think I might actually like this one. Let's see how it goes. Might have to suck it down like a jello blob.
Okay, so you suck down your gel shot and roll a Constitution check. Keep this up, and Timmy's gonna earn the drinking proficiency. Ooh, so this one was pretty smooth. It went down, and you're like, "Oh, that was nice." It gives you a good feeling. Yeah, yeah, you
Oh,
like that one. That was good.
Have
oh,
you guys been role playing Timmy getting drunk for the last like 40 minutes?
No, no,
A
no,
little
no.
bit.
Thor got a lightsaber,
Okay.
and not actually a lightsaber, but he did get a plasma dagger. Um, yeah, we were trying to vamp a little bit until you got back, to see if there was anything else going on. We talked about weapons a bit. Uh, and Thwar got his plasma dagger in the ship in the crew quarters during the evening in front of like everybody else. So basically your characters would have seen it as well.
Okay.
and it's like it's essentially it was a little hilt that like when he flicks a switch on it makes this like crackly like plasma blade that is very bright and loud and seems dangerous.
Geltix wants to go and talk to Master Zimith about um how he's going to survive in the universe without technology or
Mm,
with some kind of very modified natural technology.
yeah. Where is Master Zimith? There we go. Ah, good evening, Gothics.
Good evening, Master Zimith. Uh, it occurred to me that maybe our weapons that were useful back on our home might not be so effective out here in space.
Hmm.
Uh, I am sure there's to be much research done about foreign nature and how life propagates on other planets, but I don't know. What do you think I should do?
Hmm. Well, Gothics, one of the reasons why I wanted you here close in the greenhouse to assist me is for your own health, as well as the health of the plants and the animals. You are one such as I who has a greater connection to nature, and I share your fears. I sense the emptiness of the void beyond.
I'm also gay for
He might be, you don't know. It's
It-
like
that-
with their elvish culture, anything is possible. You know, that
this is
might be a
true.
plot point later. No spoilers.
Yeah, next season.
Yeah,
Tune
exactly.
in.
This is
uh,
Avatar in space.
yeah, yeah. See, that's why we need Guthix needs a like a pretty avatar like Zenith has, so that we can have um is it is it is it
If you tell me
Yuri?
the creator,
Is it Yuri or is it
Yowie,
Yowie?
Yowie,
Yowie's boys, right? The two boys?
Yes.
yeah,
Okay,
It's the
Yowie,
opposite
yeah.
of Yuri on
Yeah,
Ice.
yeah. Okay, that's right, cuz Yuri's too girl. Okay, so yeah, yeah, we'll have some elf Yowie.
if you tell me
Dix in the
the
dark
character
elf
maker,
Yowie.
if you tell me the character maker you made Zimith in, I'll make one for Guthix because that one actually looks pretty damn good.
Yeah, yeah, I'll have to look back through my history and see what's up. So Zemeth says, I share your concerns, Guthix. I have searched and asked the computer, though I am reluctant, some questions. I'm confident that what the computer calls the galaxy, which is really everything beyond our world, or maybe even including our world, there are a lot of forms of life. In fact, I'm excited about making new connections. It's possible that we should be optimistic, Guthix. Maybe our power could grow.
That's a good point. Well,
Our gay power.
our gay power will grow even stronger.
The computer described to me something that I did not understand, but that I wish to research further. The melding of what it calls technology all of these machines, the computer, and biology. It's interesting. It's possible. But for now, we should stay close to the greenhouse to sustain our lives in space. Should we become lost out there, away from our roots too far, it, it could harm us. Be careful, Gothics.
That's what I'm afraid of, and I will.
We'll tackle this problem together, brother.
Until then, brother. Brother.
Brother!
Oh yeah, Macho Man Gothics and Masters in the greenhouse.
No. This is
There is
Fast and Furious. This is like Fast and Furious, like 59. Family is everything.
family.
I mean, there are not that many elves on the ship, so you gotta stick together.
It's true. I've just been separated from all of my kind for the rest of history.
Yeah, exactly. So, Dan, what I had been telling the others and what we were kind of vamping on for a while was that the captain, and I think I'd said this before, captain said you had a week. So we're kind of going over all the things that everybody needed to do in that week before you kind of shove off into the great unknown.
Okay. So Mary, of course, has already accepted the position of head nurse.
Hmm.
So at some point in the future, she's going to fall in love with the Vulcan. No, never mind.
She'll fall in love with the navigator.
Navigator,
Yeah.
teach me love.
Like the Doctor and Isaac in
Yeah, the Doctor and Isaac, they did it.
The Orville,
Hmm.
man.
Yep, there he is. There it
Dr.
is.
Finn,
So
right? Yeah.
Dr. Finn,
Yeah.
Dr. Finn.
Yep.
So, um, so Argyle and Anya definitely have. There are definitely thoughts as to what they want to do.
Okay.
Argyle has been hanging around the ballista deck because those are big guns, and those are big weapons that Argyle's never seen before. Argyle wants to learn how to use the big weapons. That's what Argyle wants to do. Anya, on the
Okay.
other hand,
And
Anya,
he's been hanging out, kind of just like,
he's been kind of hanging out trying to get the guys to teach him all about the big weapons, the little weapons, all the weapons.
okay,
But like
okay,
he really wants to learn how, because they told him that he can't fire the big weapons while they're docked. But he really wants to fire one of those big weapons.
okay.
Yeah, yeah. And if we ever get a wave motion gun, he definitely wants to fire the wave motion gun, because who wouldn't want to fire a wave motion
Obviously.
gun?
Duh.
To be honest,
Yeah,
to
yeah.
be honest.
Of course.
But Anya, on the other hand, wants to take a more active role in ship security.
Okay.
So
So,
she wants to take a more active role in ship security.
gotcha. So actually, both Argyle and Anya are probably gonna want to talk to this fella right here.
Old Claggard.
Yes, because old Claggard, all right, he is the chief gunner and chief of the guards. So he is like literally like the thing. He's the guy that both of them are gonna want to see.
Okay.
But if Argyle is up there kind of palling around with the doing just like general male bonding, those guys, you already talked to them and you already know that they're excited to fucking talk about this shit and like show anybody
Yes.
that's like
Hmm.
willing to like
Yeah.
listen. So
Hmm.
as far as like Argyle probably doesn't even really notice this guy too much because this guy hasn't really been like that present around this. He'll like check in, but he's not really like overseeing this. So if Argyle's kind of male bonding with these guys, that's probably more like his in. As far as security, Anya may have to try and figure out a way to talk to old Claggard, who is
Does he have an
kind of
office?
he's kind of like notoriously he does have an office. He's kind of like notoriously like short with people, kind of like, "Ah," you know, crotchety old guy.
Hmm.
Um, would she go to his office then?
Yeah. Oh yeah. She'd just go. She'd go to the source. Does
All
she
right.
outrank him?
Huh? She
Does
does
she?
outrank him, actually. She does. She does outrank him now. Yeah, yeah. So you go to his office?
Yeah. She goes to his office.
Okay. He's like,
By the way, Dad, I sent you a DM on
oh.
Facebook.
All right, all right, all right. Gotcha, gotcha. Okay. So, he's like, come in.
What actually is his rank?
He is a chief warrant officer.
Oh, okay. So he's a okay.
So he is a yeah, he's a non-commissioned.
Right. Okay. So okay. So he's a chief.
He's a chief,
Okay.
but he's like a long time, like he's like
He's like
clearly
a
like
longtime chief.
a
He's
lifer. So he's like one of
yes.
those
Yes.
chiefs where like yes, you outrank him technically,
Technically. Oh no, believe me.
right?
When I was in the military, I met those
Yes,
guys.
yes,
I know
that's
exactly
this
who you're
yes.
talking
Okay,
about.
yes.
Yes.
That's this guy.
I know those. I know
Like
who those guys are.
like
Yes.
you might be a lieutenant, but he
Basically,
does not
the
give a fuck.
those are the guys who are like, yeah, they actually do tell lieutenants and captains what to do, and the lieutenants and captains generally listen. Yes.
Yeah, because they're experienced or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Come in.
Hello, Chief.
Uh, hello. What can I do for you, sir?
Well, I'd like to take a more active role in ship security. And I understand that you are the one that I need to speak with about that.
Hmm.
I'd like to train with the other I'd like to train with the other security officer or security personnel.
What do you want to do?
Learn as much as I can.
What's your end goal, though?
Well, security is obviously important on the ship, but it will also help when I go on away missions. And since we're out here now and we're exploring these new realms, the better prepared that I am, the more people the safer people will be when we go out on missions. And I feel the best way to prepare is to become as familiar as I can with the security protocols of the ship and of the Empire, even though
Ah,
we're not with the Empire anymore.
I see. Well, the way that I see it, I don't need another guard. But I can use you on security. And I'll tell you how.
Mm-hmm.
There's a security station on the bridge. The old man wants me to man it. But I don't like the computer. What do you think of the computer?
Well, it is interesting, to say the least, but it doesn't bug me all that much.
Listen, if you
Again,
can work that damn computer, you can be on the security team.
I will do my best to work the damned computer then.
You'll monitor security on the ship. If there's a problem, you're the one that the computer will alert, and you're the one that will have to communicate the problem to the guards. Do you think you can handle that?
Yes, but what about actual security training?
I'll train you as much as you want if you work on the bridge and work the damn computer.
Okay, the damn computer will be worked.
All right, that's it. You're the bridge security officer.
Thank you, Chief. Will you let the captain know, or should I?
Yeah, I'll put it in. Congratulations.
Aye, sir.
All right. Still hanging out there.
Hmm.
So, yeah, Anya has now also secured herself a place on the bridge, Mr. Worf, or shit, what was
Hashiar,
her name? Yeah.
Hashiar. As long as I don't get
Lieutenant
killed by a
the
black spot
Black
in season
Slime.
3.
Dude, that was season 1. It was like 9 episodes in or some shit like that. She died early as fuck.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Or
I think
11
I think
episodes in or something.
yeah,
It
it
was
was
really
really
early.
yeah,
They
that's
didn't even make
true.
an action figure of her. I
That's
remember.
true, yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. So Anya there and Argyle's kind of been hanging out. Does he make any attempts to be like like to try and like get a job or like say like, hey, you guys looking for or is he just kind of hanging out and like what's his strategy?
Hmm.
Argyle's kind of dumb, so I don't know. Like I'm not sure
Yeah,
exactly what he'd do.
yeah. think that Argyle would use his experience in the Fighters Guild to to uh to to he would use that experience of what he learned in the Fighters Guild to uh to try to translate
To
that over into
suck
this.
some
And
dicks.
actually,
Suck all the dicks.
what he would do is he would be like, yeah, if you show me how to do these things, I'll show you how to do these other things.
I bet you
Because
will.
like a lot of these guys, are some of them are ballista guys, but they were security and probably used before they
Yeah,
used
like
weapons,
swords and stuff. Yeah,
swords
of
and things like
course.
that. And he's like, sometimes these things might not work, but a sword will always work, and I can teach you how to use that better.
Okay, so he
If you
does do
teach
some
me how to
negotiating then.
Yeah, so
Okay, okay.
if you teach me how to do some of this, I'll teach you my stuff.
Gotcha. Okay, well
So
I'm gonna give
yeah,
you +2 for +2 for just being like just giant and vascular, and then +2 for your experiences at the at the training guild, because you did spend a lot of time there. And roll a charisma check. See if you can bro these guys up. Fuck yeah.
oh,
Okay, so that's actually the
with
equivalent of a
those
2. Yeah.
pluses, that's awesome.
Yeah, so you're kind of getting in good, and the guys are just like, after a while, they just like, you just kind of show up, and you're just like a part of their thing, and like nobody tells you no. Like everybody just kind of like, you just kind of integrate in, because it's like all these like
Hmm.
meatheads, and they want you around, they like you, and then you just kind of like integrate and become part of the group. At some point, somebody gives you like a uniform, like one of their uniforms, a new uniform, which is like weird. It's like
Okay,
kind of fancy.
all right.
Yeah, so like when you're like down there, you like
I'm
have this
assuming that
uniform on.
we're all getting these uniforms, like
They're
bridge.
kind of trickling out. Yeah, people like on the
Yeah.
bridge are starting to get uniforms, and there's like also general
As
clothing,
long as they're not Star Trek the Motion Picture uniforms, we're okay.
onesies. They're all onesies, and they all have like a butt flap with like 2 buttons, like the old school, where you can like,
Yeah.
like in a from a
Hmm.
Dr. Seuss book, like
Oh yeah.
one of the really racist ones that you can't buy anymore. No, I love Mulberry Street. Fuck those guys. Anyway,
I'm going to take a quick bathroom break.
okay, go ahead. So,
Just do the dance.
do what?
Just don't go with dance.
Oh yeah, don't go dance.
Yeah, don't
Definitely
go
don't go
Dan right now.
dance. All right.
Somebody's got to come. Somebody's got to come over and fix that shit. So
All right. So, I feel like Cameron has done everything that Cameron has done. Does anybody else need to do anything else, as far as within the week that you have? And I'm probably gonna
Rummy
take a leak as well. But
would like to find some kind of hand cannon that he could carry on his person.
is he gonna ask? Is he gonna ask Thawar? Is he gonna see if he can find that Matt guy? What's his?
But he would rather find it in a not so legal way.
Okay.
Yeah, he would like to see if there's like I guess an element somewhere that he could find a weapon that is not so like above board that
Hmm.
people don't know that he's getting a weapon.
Ah. Okay. So hmm.
We're about to find out what happens when you get thrown in the brig.
And someone getting thrown in the brig.
How is Rumby gonna cause right now he's of course on the ship with like his crew that they've been with. And then there's this like these other like handful of people. Like who is he gonna talk to? How is he gonna like
He's going to get to the bar, of course. He's going to go to where they get drinks, and he's just going to ask around. He's like, trying to find out like who hands out the what.
Who hands out the illegal weapons
so
around here?
he's just gonna kind of ask, okay, all right, yeah, we'll play that, we'll do that, that
Like,
sounds good.
My God.
All right, Jay, roll roll a d6, just like a regular roll, no bonuses or
okay.
anything like that.
I guess I don't even know what I will roll for that. I'll just do it off this.
Okay. Okay. So Rumby's hanging out late one night at the Forward Lounge, and he's kind of like been talking to a couple people, and finally he talks to one of Argyle's buddies. Like Argyle's been hanging out with these group of guys lately. They even started dressing alike. Rumby's really not sure what it's about, but it's like one of those guys. And he's so what specifically is Rumby asking when he's sniffing around? What's his question?
I'm just asking if I can find some kind of something, some kind of weapon for self protection.
Uh, what are you looking for?
One of those light weapons that would be small enough that I can carry it with me.
Uh, I heard about a guy that has access to this thing called the replicator.
The replicator.
I heard it can make you a goon, which is like a small bow and arrow, but it shoots you know, that firelight.
Where
Uh,
is it?
here's the thing. This guy, he he only deals in favors because I mean, as far as we can tell, our money's fucking worthless.
Just tell me who he is.
Well, I
I'll buy
mean,
you.
what can you offer this guy? Can you get him
I'm not,
anything?
I'm not going to tell you. I'll buy you a drink though if you give me his name. I'll buy
Uh,
you 2 drinks.
okay, you buy him some drinks. What do you buy him? You actually don't have to buy the drinks because the drinks are free. You order
But
him a
I'm
drink.
saying
Yeah,
drink.
yeah, yeah.
Something very strong. That thing that knocked me on my ass.
Okay. You buy him that.
A couple of those.
He's pretty good. He tells you that there is somebody that can help you, and he gives you a location and a time to meet this person. And it's like a weird time too, because like right now you're like already operating on your the ship is operating on your what would have been your local schedule, so your like time rotation, even though it's kind of arbitrary at this point, just for the sake of consistency of timekeeping on the ship. So like the time that he wants to meet you would be the equivalent of like, or that you're supposed to meet this person would be the equivalent of like 3:30 a.m. And it's like down in cargo near the brig in some like weird room that you've like never heard of.
Okay. Then I
Does
shall leave.
does is Rumby gonna go at the appointed time? And is he gonna go alone or is he gonna take somebody with him? Like, what's he gonna do?
I'm not dumb enough to go by myself.
Who's he gonna
Uh,
take?
well, I'm gonna go to my friends on the crew that I know and ask if anyone would like to go with me to acquire some
Some illegal weapons.
illegal weapons.
Anybody want to buy contraband?
Basically, does anyone want to buy contraband?
Uh, what? What?
Oh yeah.
What do you mean contraband?
I was looking for a weapon that was not necessarily was not necessarily something that I could just like because I need something for myself and I don't necessarily want people to know I have it. That way I can be protected no matter what circumstance happens.
You're a member of the away team. I'm sure we can get everybody a weapon.
So I want one that that
Who
the
do you
people
think you're going to? Who do you think on this ship is going to come after you?
I don't know, a lot of people have been coming onto the ship and going off the ship. The ship isn't even the ship anymore. It's some freaking flying computer. I'd like to have something that not necessarily someone gives me that they know about.
Listen, if anybody wants a weapon, because you're part of the away team, I'm sure we can get you a weapon.
Okay, get me a
We
weapon.
were allowed to keep our weapons before in our quarters. I'm sure it's going to be the same way now. Besides,
Do you trust these people that tell you that you can't go back home?
I don't want to go back home. There's nothing there for me. We're going out into the galaxy. This is an exciting thing. If you don't want to show, you had your chance. If you come with us, you could have been resettled like the rest of those people. But
That's your
if you're
choice.
asking for a weapon, I'm sure we can get you a weapon that you can keep around to feel safe. Let me talk to the people in security and we'll see what we can do.
Oh, okay.
So Rumby got a lecture from Anya. Is he gonna try anybody else?
Yeah, I'm gonna try someone else.
Oh, Rom.
Oi, bro.
Oi, bro. What you got
Oi,
there?
bro. Oi, bro.
What you got
Nice.
on that?
I was gonna go down here and meet someone and see about some maybe some weapons or some material that not necessarily everyone knows about.
Well, if you manage to find something that can replace me daggers,
That's the point.
let me know, man.
I need someone to go with me.
Oh, you need me to go with you?
I need someone other than me.
All
I
right.
don't
Ooh,
go to this place alone.
Sure, I'll go.
A little shady.
need some backup.
I got your back.
All right. So a duo has been formed. Anybody else? Anybody? You gonna try and get anybody else on this little?
Yeah, people will go. Why not?
Okay.
So we got 3 people. Anyone else wants to go?
Guess not.
All
All
right.
right.
So Kegel and Rumby and old Tim, they head down at the appointed place at the appointed time. Down here underneath the labs and workshops, like down this weird corridor. You finally get to the room, and that drunk guy told you, Rumby, that you are supposed to knock 3 times.
I'll knock 3 times.
So you knock 3 times, clunk, clunk, clunk. You hear this voice say, "Enter."
What? What is that?
I think it's enter.
Enter.
Durl?
And the door kind of
Um,
goes, shh, and opens up.
okay.
And it's
Okay.
dark in here. The ship kind of has this like ambient lighting like everywhere. So like you can kind of turn it off in your quarters and stuff. You can like turn it down. You can even turn it up. The computer can like adjust the lighting in all sorts of ways. But generally by default, every room that you walk into kind of just has this like ambient lighting where everything is just kind of like evenly lit, clearly to see. It's kind of unusual after living in such a like a grimy, weird, like, organic world, having everything so clean and being able to really see everything in detail. It's kind of wild, it's kind of trippy. But this room is weird because this room kind of reminds you of your old world. It's like dark, and it's like you think it's lit by candlelight. There are like a
Tells
bunch of
you?
candles. And there's a guy, and he's in like a robe, and he's got like this helmet, and he's kind of like, and he's like, "What do you want?"
I'm looking for some protection.
"What kind of protection would you like?"
Uh, Something that can, I guess, shoot and it can be hidden.
"What can you do for me?"
What do you need done?
I've got some killer alcohol upstairs,
Tim?
man. Ooh. Can get you down on some of that.
"You're kind of important, right?"
Yeah, we're kind of important.
"I want to see if you can take me with you."
Where do you want to go?
I need you to hide me when it launches. Can you do that?
Aren't we on?
Let the pest die. Kill it if you have to.
I think he's
Sure.
talking about our ship when we
Uh,
depart.
Sure, we can possibly do that.
What kind of goods you got here?
That's a big ask, but you'll have to let me know what you got.
I can make you anything that you want.
Ooh.
What are you
That'd be good.
thinking?
Can you make me some fancy lightning daggers like my friend had? Can you give me some of those?
Oh yeah, I can make those. I mean, sure, yes, I can make those. Um, how will you be using these daggers?
To probably to attack people and things with. Yeah.
You throwing them, or you just
No, no,
stab
no. I'm
stab me, stab me, stab me, stab me.
I like the stabby.
You
Yeah.
you want one like your buddy has?
Yeah.
And
Big
you
old
can
How
hide
ghetto.
me, right?
What his buddy has.
Say what?
And you can hide me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No
yeah.
problem.
Okay. I can. Yeah. Yeah, I got something for you. Okay. What?
How does he know? How do you know what his buddy has?
I
Because
I see things
I'm
on the
James.
ship.
I'm James, and I see everything. I know what you're doing.
How's the weather? Stop it. Stop it, Dan. Fuck. Okay. Anyway, um, uh, yeah. So, Anya is Anya gets an alert. There's an alert. There's been some kind of a security breach. Computer is alerting her of a security breach.
Where is the security breach?
So on the wall that shows images like this, where it shows the ship, the security breach shows here in sickbay.
In sickbay. Okay, so if I leave the station, is it like in Star Trek where somebody else will just kind of walk up and take my station?
You have no idea because you just started monitoring this shit, and an old claggard didn't tell you anything.
Hmm.
And the bridge, everybody on the bridge is like so busy kind of learning their jobs that like if you didn't specifically ask somebody, they're probably not even
Ah,
paying attention to you. Unless like you like unless you announce that there's a security alert and then somebody might pay attention, but
hmm.
at the moment everybody's kind of like doing their thing.
Captain,
Like the
I
captain's
see a
bent
sec-
over his chair like pushing some buttons
yeah.
like being like
Well,
this damn
that's what he said.
thing like
Captain, I'm showing a security breach in sickbay.
uh watch uh
I'm showing a security alert in sickbay here, and she tries to punch it up and put it on the screen.
So like a little thing goes and it's like and it looks like there's a communication from sick bay. Thwar's on the bridge. He's receiving a communication from sick bay.
Receiving a communication. Bringing up communication now, Captain.
Captain, it's Father Brabar. Come to sick bay quick. It's the child. It's dead.
What?
Just come.
I
Well, he
assume.
asked the captain to go, so that's
Yeah.
you, dude.
Uh,
That is an audio communication, right? It's not like
oh
a
yeah,
recording or something.
That is
Okay.
an audio communication.
Okay.
The captain is like, Anya, follow me.
All right, so I'm gonna follow Anya. Or follow the captain.
So the captain's headed down to sick bay with Anya, and
Oh, did they give her a weapon?
they did not give her a weapon. Again, Claggor just like told her to go on the bridge and monitor the computer.
Okay.
At
Well,
this
then
point.
she's got her weapon.
Yeah.
Then she's armed
Yeah,
with
of
her
course. Yeah.
her
She's got
standard
her
weapon.
stuff. Yeah, obviously. Okay, so you and the captain are like headed down to sick bay. So you're going to sick bay. Meanwhile, back all the way down and all the way by the brig, this weird meeting at 3 a.m. in the morning is happening, and and the the guy is like talking to Rumby. What do you need?
I want to do like I guess
Well,
small
here I got an idea. Let me
light
see
cannon.
your regular weapon. What do you normally use? Lay it on the table and push it over to me. But
I'll
don't
lay it
come
on the.
too close.
I'll tell him I want it. I want two of these, small enough that I can put them on my sides.
So you slide it over. He kind of like looks at it. Alright. And he sets it down. He takes
I
this
want it
box
small.
out. And he like manipulates some stuff on this box. And a light comes out of this box. And he kind of like moves the light around on your weapon. Makes some noises. Then he like slides it back across the table. And he says,
Alright, two of those, right?
Two of those, small enough that I can put them underneath the jacket. One in each hand.
Two questions.
Two
Well,
answers.
first of all, when it comes to ammo, fuel, whatever you want to call it, ammunition, when it comes to the arrows, would you rather have more almost unlimited arrows, but they're not maybe as good, or limited and somewhat hard to get depending on where you are, but they're better arrows?
I want two of the unlimited type.
okay, so you would rather have a power
Basically,
supply that lasts longer than one that's gonna run out and require
well, that's the thing is like Rumby literally has like quick shot, right?
mhm.
So I'd like him to be able to shoot one with each hand. So I'm thinking like literally like double draw like kind of weapons.
Hmm. I understand what you're going for. I know I'm
You understand?
thinking Galaxy Rangers, but
Yeah.
um Yeah. I see what you're going for. I understand what you want, but like I just want to like clarify. Basically, what this guy is asking you is, and you're saying you would rather have like a power supply that lasts a lot longer and is less likely to run out, rather than a more powerful weapon, but the ammunition is like more
Yeah,
rare.
pretty much.
Okay. All right. That makes sense. And then um his second question is whether um you want auto targeting, or if you are a marksman, you may not want auto targeting at all,
Well, auto target.
because you may be able to target better than the computer.
Yeah, I don't want to auto target. I don't like computers.
Okay, so he will not put auto targets, and then once again he's like,
And you're sure you can hide me, right, when the ship leaves?
Ooh, I'm pretty sure we can do that.
All right, meet me back here tomorrow night. This time, I'll have your stuff.
Sound good? Let's probably just Jimmy.
and you're like walking back down the hall through the cargo bays, and all of a sudden there's an alert on the ship. There's a red alert. There's like these like red blinking lights, and there's this woo woo. There's like this weird noise, and the captain and Anya make it down to sick bay, um, where Mary has just been woken from a sleep and beckoned also to sick bay, since she is the head nurse. Um, Old Claggard is also there, and as well as you didn't realize it, but uh, uh, Lieutenant Drocht, Victor Drocht, on the bridge also followed you down. And everybody enters the bridge. I mean, the
Sick
enters
bay.
sick bay. Sorry, Captain. This is the father. The child is. Oh, Anya, I'm so sorry. But Mary, uh, 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 the area that you prepared, the nursery area for the child. Someone broke in at night while you were sleeping, and I guess you were on the bridge, and I had dozed off myself. Uh, well, you can have a look yourself. He kind of like moves out of the way and kind of opens the way towards the nursery.
Anya will step toward the nursery.
So Anya steps toward the nursery, and and the child has clearly been stabbed, like just just like stabbed right through, like one very very deep all the way through stab, basically through the heart.
Is the weapon still there?
No.
Wow.
There's been a murder.
A body has been discovered.
Oh, so sorry.
We can't leave the dock yet. Not until we find out who did this.
Ren's gonna show up at the sick bay.
Mary, on the other hand, is like in tears. She's collapsed. She's crying. She's lost it.
All right, so people are kind of so that's all going on. Victor and Claggard are kind of trying to like rope off the area, like kind of cordon off the area, and keep anybody from touching anything. They're gonna like kind of they're trying to figure out if there's any way the computer can find out what happened. And you said
Yeah,
Ren went into
Yep.
sick bay.
And that's fine. You guys don't have to worry about looking it up. I killed the child.
Dun,
What?
dun, dun. Tune in next time to find out more about.
Who killed the child? Oh,
everybody whips around like
Yeah.
what?
that was me. No, I killed the child.
No, it was me. I killed the child.
I definitely killed the child. Yeah.
It was me.
Ren, why'd you do this, man?
Well, clearly, the birth was incredibly unnatural, and something's been on my mind since we've gotten here. The company that has taken us under their custody said that our world is quarantined because of, and when they listed off possible reasons, they said something called a planet-eating entity. I can't imagine that the planet-eating entity was anything other than that creature we met on the island, which is very obviously to me the same creature that caused this baby to be born. Somehow it made it through the check, but I knew if I told anyone my plan that it would be stopped.
You just
So
wanted
I
an
did it.
excuse to kill a baby.
Its incubation period was less than a week. And you're telling me that this is a natural baby?
I see what you're saying. But what if this baby was perfectly fine? What if there was just weird magical circumstances we don't understand?
Why is it worth taking that
What
risk?
if you were wrong?
Yeah, what do you-
That was Mary.
Regardless, if it's born and raised normally, would it turn out well anyway? Its mother is a warrior. We'd be on the battlefield most of the time. It'd be raised by the random crew of the ship that was here. Could you really consider that a good life? Trust me, I know what I'm talking about here.
Ren euthanized that kid. He just like post birth abortioned it.
We'll have like all this pro-life hate now for everyone.
Oh,
Sorry, pro-lifers, that I killed the fucking Antichrist.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, you don't know. It's the baby Hitler argument, you know, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Mm.
So it's the game.
This is alarming to see, Ren. I'd wish
You
you'd
can
come
punish
to
me
us
however you want,
before.
Captain. If I'd come to you before, then I would have never been able to do this.
You're right that there would have been a debate. Now there's a bigger debate.
What do we do with him?
What do we do? If we were on our world, within the bounds, if we were, well, if we were bound to those rules, then we would have to have some sort of a trial to decide his fate.
I acted in the way that I believe is best for the crew. You can punish me as you see fit.
I believe you did. We are at a crossroads here. Anya, the child was yours, but for weeks you didn't claim it. What is your position on this?
Well,
Dicks in the deep, motherfucker. Dicks in the deep. Not the way I thought this was gonna turn out, but still cool.
What do you think?
I can't agree with the way you went about it. But I understand your reasoning. However, Captain, we can't let this go unpunished.
I'm glad that child is dead. I'll be honest.
At this point, Mary is horrified. Mary is like she stopped crying and she is actually horrified at like the callousness of this.
Yeah.
Yeah. That in
Mary,
fact
meet Ren, the real Ren.
like
This is your teammate.
yeah.
Yes.
She's actually had to leave the room at this point.
Okay, so she leaves sick bay, and so kind of that Victor he's kind of like inched over to kind of towards Ren, and he's kind of like standing, yeah, proverbially
Dicks in the
like
dark, civil war.
he's kind of standing with him a little bit. The captain is ponderous at this point. He's flummoxed. He's like, oh man. He's trying to keep it together and look as cool as this, but it's difficult.
Is that literally from Red October?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's a my doctored image, I changed some stuff,
Yeah.
but yeah, of course. It's great. I mean he's if
Yeah.
you're gonna have a captain, fucking
Yeah. Yeah.
what else are you gonna do? So
Ah,
yeah,
Captain, like I said, we still need discipline. I would suggest one full moon in the brig.
How does a full moon work here?
Well, I mean that's our time frame. That's what she would say.
I see.
yeah. So a full moon would be like a quarter, right? Like what? Like one full moon? Wouldn't that be a quarter? Isn't it?
No, it'd be 30. That would be 28 days. That would be a month.
Oh, fuck yeah. Well,
A
a
quarter?
full. What am I talking about?
How many fucking full moons do you think there are in a year?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
In Mastara, 4.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know how many there were in this new world, but yeah. Anyway, okay, so
yeah.
yeah.
So
So a
she's
month
saying-
basically. She's saying a month. You can say a month,
Yeah.
Dan. Months is a thing. There are weeks and
Okay, a
months.
month.
Like you lived
Yeah,
in a fairly civilized society. So yeah.
Okay.
So a month.
Well,
Oh,
babies.
many moons. we we only. She Nectosha.
Nectosha.
Zing! There's a Easter egg for
Well, wait a minute.
people.
You know, she did live out in the desert with all those
For
with all
yeah,
those native
exactly.
people.
You were just gonna say engines. I
How
know
much
you
XP do
were.
I get for the child, by the way? No.
Ah, yeah. Depending on how this turns out, maybe a lot, actually. Yeah, you don't even know. Um, so Anya's suggesting a month in the brig.
hmm I also suggest that we study it,
I agree.
but you should have come to us.
As I said, if I came to you, this wouldn't have been possible. I had to act alone.
What was that? What was the dude's name with the shaggy hair?
Victor, Lieutenant Drock.
What, Lieutenant, take him to the brig.
All right, I agree. 1 month, Ren.
He
Yes.
nods.
So
Red's just like, dude, I could
he's
like
like a
chill for a
month.
month.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
get
and
three squares, chill for a month.
Ren gets into the brig, and the brig is like is like it's bigger than your pod in in your quarters. It's more private because there's nobody else in there. So like you're in like a brig where there are like 4 bunks, and they're like they're as comfortable because they're basically the same bunks that you already sleep on. So it's like there's 4 of them, and it's a bigger area, and so you have this like now this big kind of private room. You can never leave, but they like bring you meals and shit, and like people can come talk to
Actually,
I'm gonna
you.
ask for some books.
here's the thing. Anya's gonna come down a little while later, after like things have died down. She's gonna come down and visit Ren and be like, all right, we've put you in here, but I want you to do something for me while you're here. And you won't get in trouble. I promise. But I can't think of anybody better. I want you to try to get out.
Simple.
Basically, she's like, and she's also going to tell the captain this because, like, she's just going to tell the captain because she's like, she wants to see,
Okay.
we want to test this
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
We,
Right on, right
you
on.
know, there are no bars. We don't know
As
how
I
this shit
said,
works.
I have no ill will towards the crew. If I can escape, I'll simply leave the door open.
Yeah.
But if you escape, we'll have to put you back in. And if we put you back in, you know what to do.
At
Aye,
least for a
aye.
So,
month, and then after a month, you know, you
yeah,
get let
yeah.
after you serve your sentence, you're done, regardless if you escape or not. So yeah, the captain agrees to all of that because Anya's a new, security officer on the bridge, and he's like, listen, I gotta trust my people, and it was Anya's kid, and if that's what she thinks is fair, then fucking that's what we're gonna go with, and hopefully Mary is okay, but it seems that at the moment she was in the minority.
Yeah.
The father was shocked too. He's kind of not sure how he was kind of silent after the whole thing. He kind of really didn't participate in the rest of that conversation. So it's kind of hard to tell
I
what he
think,
thought.
Captain, I think for studying this, I know I know the best person. I know somebody who would really be able to help us understand what the child may have been.
Ah, I think I know who you mean.
Yes.
Ah,
Smash cut to Sid just like carving open bodies.
yeah.
Pretty much.
Nova to Sid. Nova to Sid.
Because nobody can say his last name.
Report to
What?
sick bay.
Where did that come from?
It's just like,
What?
the fuck?
I will
Yeah.
wander towards sickbay.
So, you have a new mission. Apparently, someone has stabbed that baby to death. Bad for the baby, good for you. You have your first corpse on board the ship.
Ooh. Upon receiving this mission, I will immediately cast Preserve Dead,
Ah, excellent choice.
which lasts 5 days, and if need be, I'll just cast it
Yeah,
every
yeah,
five
you just
days
recast it, of
Yeah.
course. Excellent. So,
until we get into
Actually, with this technology, does he need to do that?
yeah, I was gonna say. Well, he does that, but if you may learn the ship can help you out with things like that. Uh, in fact, when when you do that, the the Brabar is kind of like neat. That's kind of useful, actually. We might have dead down here sometime. Like, you want a job in sick bay?
Oh, hey, I guess I don't have any other projects at the moment.
Yeah.
Chief coroner.
Yeah. So you begin your research with the babe, and that should be kind of interesting because wasn't there like a little bit of a friendship between Mary and Sid?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Now he's doing research on the body of the child. She's gonna
I mean,
have
hey,
some.
it's not like he killed him.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
No.
he's just on his
Yeah.
job, and he's just of course doing the thing that he does. But Mary might have some. She might have to have some dilemma here. We'll have to see. Yeah,
Yeah.
this did not go how I planned, but kudos, Harrow. Uh, it was it was
I
good.
was actually I was talking to Cameron about this. I've been thinking about whether I should kill this baby for like the past 4 sessions.
Well, I knew that you were kind of, but I was like, I wonder if he's gonna like. I kind of thought you might wait until there was like a, if there was like something weird happening. You know what I mean? Like, if the
Mm-hmm.
baby started acting weird or like
Gotta
something.
nip it by the bud.
But nah, you were like, nah, this thing, I can't let this get any older than it is. What if it
Mm-hmm.
automatic? What if it's like an adult in like 3 weeks? We gotta just do it now.
I was sitting there thinking about how they said it was that there's a potential planet-eating entity in our world, and I was like, this baby's a fucking planet-eating entity. I'm gonna kill it right now.
Mhm.
I'm gonna
Wow.
save the rest of the universe. Bang, right away.
Eh, yes, and now your father's next 15 sessions have been completely ruined.
Out the window.
No, 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 no. I'm good. I'm 100% good. Listen, like I said before, I like we're going like old school. I'm like going we're going kind of seat of the pants, which is why like a session like this. It was like kind of unexpected, but I like dug it. Like it created kind of a neat.
It wouldn't be our adventures if we didn't have just a massive twist right there.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So yeah, like I'm
Yep.
totally down. I'm glad he did it. I think it yeah, I think it definitely makes
Personally, this is what I've been waiting for Ren to do for a long time.
nice. Nice.
But
Crowd pleaser.
just yeah, just saying though, no real babies were hurt
Obviously,
during this.
obviously. And we're like
What
not
about this baby I've just
advocating
murdered right here?
we're not
You're right.
advocating
It wasn't a real baby.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. On the
No,
yeah.
no planet-eating entities were harmed during this.
Ren started with a dog.
Yeah.
No,
You're
everyone
right.
knows it
You're
starts with the
right.
animal. Okay,
This is how
Just
Michael
saying,
Myers started.
we have a psychopath on our hands.
Oh my gosh.
He started
True.
making skin suits.
Thing
You
is,
watch Ren
Excellent.
murder plenty of people. Come
Ren
on.
is probably the most sane out of everybody in the party, actually.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. True. True. And
And
who
that's why
knows?
he's the
I'm
only one that could do the deed.
I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm not gonna spoil it, obviously, but who knows? Maybe you did save the universe. You know, pejoratively, it's possible. Or you could have just killed a baby. That's possible as well. So
You
you
know,
know, maybe one of those things will be revealed as a truth in the future. Maybe not. Maybe we'll just keep it ambiguous. We'll see.
maybe
Depends.
when you put it like that, it sounds like it was a pretty good trade-off.
Yeah, I mean, you know, one way or the other. But
Your Honor, I swear, I
But
was
you
saving
know-
the universe.
50-50 between killing a child or saving the universe.
Actually,
Solid
you know what?
50-50.
did somebody just
There
deal some
could've-
cards?
There could have been there's a third option that could have been way
Ah.
worse. There's a third option that could have been
It
way
was going to
worse.
save the universe.
No,
Yeah.
no, you just killed Wesley Crusher
No, that's way better, man.
and just saved everybody from by taking care of Wesley Crusher.
No, what's awesome is that like you yeah, I had some other stuff, but we didn't even get to that, so and it actually didn't have anything to do with the child, so no, you didn't mess anything up. The ideas that I had are, you know, they're flowy. They have to be for these kind of adventures. I mean, obviously there are certain things that are like set in stone, but yeah, I'm whatever you
Not
do
if I have anything to say
has to be
about it.
possible. Yeah, yeah. Well, actually, and now out in the universe, maybe not. Looks like Jason had to go to bed.
Yeah. We got
I
like
kind of want to
you
go
know-
too, just because I've had a splitting headache the entirety of the game, and I'm gonna try to sleep it off.
Oh yeah, yeah. Hey, remember if you've got a little bit of menthol, rub on your temples.
That's true.
And
Apply directly.
No, I couldn't find
For horror.
Advil anywhere, so I drank alcohol to deal with it, and it didn't necessarily get rid of the pain, but it made me care about it less for sure.
oh, it sucks. Or maybe drink a bunch of water now. That might help.
Oh, I've been.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
worry. As soon as I have a headache, there are three things that I go to. First is I drink as much water as possible. If it doesn't go away, I drink coffee. If then it doesn't go away, I take like Advil or something. But we don't have that, or we did, but I haven't been able to find it. So
Yeah.
sleep is the next best thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cool. Feel better,
I
dude.
gotta tell you,
Thank
some
you.
of these people might be bots, but there are more people in the chat for Twitch than I've seen in a long time.
Really?
Cool.
There's a
Well,
lot of people in the chat.
Right. Well, I'll talk to y'all
welcome.
later.
Yeah, good night, dude.
Night.
Yeah,
Yeah.
later, man.
Take care.
So like, before we log out of here, for the YouTubers, smash the like button, do a comment, share, do all the things that you need to do so that we can grow the channel.
Please.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
comment, share, all that jazz. All those
Mhm.
things.
Let us
Do this?
know if you like baby murder. Catch you
yeah,
next
No,
time.
actually, don't do that. We
maybe not.
probably don't want
We
to
don't wanna
know
get
about
flagged.
that.
Maybe don't not in the comments at least, please.
Yeah.
That could
We're
be
not.
rough.
Yeah.
That could be
Yeah.
rough. Cool. Thanks for watching.
Going